Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Welcome to episode 2 of the series, Questions that the Companions asked the Prophet ﷺ. In this episode we'll take the question that a man came to the Prophet ﷺ and asked him, he said, Mata as-sa'a, when is the hour, when is the day of judgment? This is a very important question that every single one of us should be asking ourselves every single day, or at least think about every single day. Now the Prophet ﷺ asked him in return a question. He didn't answer him, but rather asked him a question in return. He said, وَمَاذَا أَعْدَدْتَ لَهَا, what have you prepared for it? And before we continue with the rest of this story, it's important to stop and reflect there. The Prophet ﷺ could have told him, no one knows when the day of judgment is, as is evident from the Quran and the authentic Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, that no one truly knows when the day of judgment is except Allah. But the Prophet ﷺ responded with another question to make the man think. To make him think, because why is the man asking about the day of judgment to begin with? He's asking when the day of judgment is so he could know when it is, so he could prepare for it, so he could be ready when it comes, right? But the Prophet ﷺ responded with a question, what have you prepared for it? To make the man think, meaning it doesn't matter when it comes, if you're ready for it, if you've prepared enough for it, if you're ready when it comes, whenever that may be, then you're ready, you're prepared. And if you haven't prepared anything for it, then it doesn't matter when it is, because you're not ready for it when it comes, because you haven't prepared for it. So in other words, it's trying to get us to reflect that what matters the most is preparing for that day, is preparing for the day of judgment. The man responded, in another narration he thought for a bit, and then he responded, he said, I haven't prepared for it much fasting, much extra voluntary fasting and prayer, except that I love Allah and His Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the Prophet ﷺ said, you will be with those whom you love. Anas radiallahu anhu, who was narrating this hadith, he said, we weren't as happy with anything as much as we were happy with the saying of the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ's statement, you will be with those whom you love. Anas said, for indeed I love the Prophet ﷺ, and I love Abu Bakr, and I love Umar, may Allah be pleased with them both, and with all the companions, and I hope to be with them because of my love for them, even if my deeds don't match up to theirs, even if I don't do deeds that are similar to theirs, or as good or as much as their deeds. And we too hope, by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His generosity, that we will be with those prophets and messengers and companions and righteous people on the day of judgment because of our love for them, even if our deeds don't match up to theirs. And this shows us the importance of being careful and cautious who we love. And if we don't want to be with bad people on the day of judgment, then we should be careful not to have our hearts attached to them and fall into loving them intentionally or unintentionally, because we don't want to be with them on the day of judgment. And it's also important to make sure we're cultivating and developing in our hearts the love for Allah and His Messenger ﷺ, and the companions and the righteous people and the scholars, and those within our own community members that are righteous Muslims, and attach ourselves to them and love them so that we may be with them on the day of judgment, even if our deeds don't match up to their deeds. Barakallahu fikum, jazakumullah khaira, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.